And today we just gonna talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, the episodes 1, 2, 3. It's not really gonna be like a recap. It's just gonna be kind of me talking about it, my thoughts about it. So before we get started, don't y'all forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and come on over here and kick it with your girl. I know I've been gone for a week, y'all. Unfortunately, we had a death in the family. My sister-in-law passed, so that's been a whole thing. So we've been trying to get that together, and I just couldn't be on camera last week. I had a lot on my mind, and I had a lot going on, was doing a lot, plus dealing with the kids, and so just dealing with everyday life. So life was life, and it still kind of is, but you know, we gonna push through. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Before I get into that, I will say, you know, I didn't give a recap of the Housewives, the part 3 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because like I said, I was going through. But in my honest opinion, I really feel like it really didn't need 3 reunions. We know the drama with Portia and Shamia is ongoing, and basically I think each lady is coming back. So yeah, we'll see what it gives next season. Okay, so y'all, I have really been debating if I wanted to recap Love and Marriage Huntsville, because honestly it haven't been really interesting. The show that came on this past Saturday was okay, but it's still kind of boring. But I did want to see what they would talk about without Mel, because if you've been a long time watcher of the show, we know Mel and Martell has been everyone's storyline. So it's kind of allowed the others, the Scotts and the Destiny and all them, to kind of skate by. Like everybody was knee deep in Mel and Martell business that we really didn't know them for real. Like we know them, but we don't really know them. Like they don't talk about what they got going on in their personal lives for real. Everything was centered around Mel and Martell. So since Mel quit, I was like, I wonder what they gonna talk about. Then I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna really watch it, because it just, the first episode wasn't really like, it wasn't that interesting to me, because it was the same old. But I was like, you know what, let me just give it a chance and just watch it. So I sat down, I watched all 3 episodes, and we just gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna do a full recap on each episode, because like I said, we already got episode 3, so I'm behind. So I'm just gonna kind of give y'all my opinions on it, and y'all can tell me what y'all think in the comments, and yeah, we'll go from there. I'm not going to go in any particular order. I'm just going to kind of just throw my opinions out there about the show. And next week we'll be more prepared. But, okay, so we know Miss Wanda is back. Which Miss Wanda got on my nerves. But I do think Miss Wanda is good for a little drama, because the rest of them are boring for real. And, we know Marceau ain't here for Miss Wanda, which I am surprised, y'all. I have been actually agreeing with Marceau a lot, and Marceau is kind of grown on me, and so like I'm like, okay, you know, let's see what it's giving. So Wanda, she back, and she on Marceau neck about this video that Martell and his mistress Ariane did about the girl that they have supposed him and Marques was messing with, or whoever was messing with. And yeah, she want to know, you know, what tea is. She want to know why Marceau basically didn't kind of put it out there like what it was. And Martha was just like, he not answering. Y'all, but what I found funny is when he told her that he couldn't sit next to her. He want his enemies in front of him. That was funny to me. So it's like the same old thing. Me personally, I feel like all these men have cheated, and they just, Mel was just the one who was really transparent in her situation. Whereas the other two, baby, they ain't gonna talk about it on this show for real. And I feel like Kimmy and Tisha know that not Martell, but Maurice and Marceau has stepped out. They know, but they gonna act like they don't know. What I will say is Kimmy, I used to really like Kimmy when the show first started. Besides Mel, I really liked Kimmy. Like, we know Tisha always been a little on the slower side. Like, she ain't fast, but we know she always been a little on the slower side in my eyes. And Kimmy, I thought, okay, Kimmy, you know, Kimmy came on, she was a nurse, she had her own, I thought she was stronger and, you know, wasn't going for the bullshit for real. Even though they did say Kimmy got with Maurice when he was with Kyle, his son's mother. So at this point, I'm starting to think it's some truth to that. And not only that, I kind of started losing respect for Kimmy when she had cancer and the way Maurice was doing her, and she was kind of making excuses for him. And then I was like, well, maybe she's just deflecting because she really is going through something. You know, she has cancer and she's just trying to probably make light of the situation and not get too deep in it because she do have cancer. So I'm gonna give Kimmy grace because I never dealt with that, and I can just imagine, you know, you have cancer, you're on a TV show, you're fighting for your life, and your husband is over here talking about having sex with you, and he know you got cancer, and he making, you know, like, it wasn't coming for me. Like, for me, I would have got on Maurice's ass, but at the same time, I did understand that she was really going through some stuff. So I'm like, I'm going to give her grace because at the end of the day, she really is going through a life or death situation. And I know we as the viewers, it's like, what the hell, Maurice? You know, like, you really mad because she's not wanting to have sex right now and you all about yourself right now when she's literally fighting for her life, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of gave her grace with that situation because I'm like, you know, she is really going through something. But then last season, when he got caught with this driving while under the influence, and she tried to like make all these lies up from him, I was like, okay now Kimmy. okay girl, I see you, like, you gon' ride for your man, and at the end of the day, that's your man. If you want to ride for him. That's neither here or there. But I just thought it was so funny how Mel and Martell was the talk of the town. Everybody had so much to say about Mel and the Ariane girl and all this and that. But then when y'all in the hot seat, y'all find every way to deflect. Like, baby, that's when I started looking at Kimmy different. I was like, okay, Kimmy, Kimmy, she dumb too. She, baby, you talk a good game, but baby, you, and after this past episode, oh, that really sealed the deal for me. Because let's just go and talk about it. We see that Jalen, Kimmy's son, that's not from Maurice, he feels a certain type of way about Maurice because he doesn't look at Maurice as his father, even though Kimmy and Maurice have been together for years. Not only doesn't he look at him as his father, he looks to Marceau, Maurice's brother, as we know, more as a father figure. And my issue with this was, at first, I was like, okay, well, maybe when they first, you know, said it, I was like, well, maybe Jalen hadn't expressed this to Kimmy. But then when they all had sat down and had the meetup, and Kimmy was like, you know, Jalen had been told her this way before Maurice's son, Monster, came to stay with them. So this is something that I'm pretty sure he shared with her probably during the dating phase, and especially after they got married. And my thing with this, as a woman with kids, it's like, Kimmy, I understand you want a man and you probably was tired of being a single mother and having to do everything on your own. I get it. But to marry somebody and be with somebody who don't take interest in your child, and then not only don't take interest in your child, but bring his child to stay with y'all without forewarning you, and basically you have to raise his child while he's out getting DUIs. Like, baby, So that was like, I was like, okay, now Kimmy, like, then you reached a whole nother level of low. Like, I understand you want your man, but girl, him not taking any accountability with your child, not trying to have a relationship with your child, should have been a huge red flag. Like, a huge red flag. Like, that would have trumped everything. Because at the end of the day, when you have kids, whether people like it or not, may not like this saying or not, y'all are a package deal. And if I'm with you and I see that you don't have no type of relationship with my son, like, that's a no for me. Like, so I don't know, everybody is different. And like I said, it's one of those things where Kimmy probably just really wanted a man, because it's not like she was hurting. You know, she had a good job. She only had one child. She made decent money. So she probably was just tired of being single. And not another thing, when Kimmy and Marques got together, Kimmy was the breadwinner, because I believe Marques was still in school or something. Like, he wasn't, do he even practice law now? I don't know. But he wasn't where he is today. And it's like, Kimmy, you really settled for this? Me personally, I did not like the whole Marques questioning Jalen, because I feel like when Marques went to talk to him, I don't feel like he talked to Jalen, which this is one of the issues I have with Marques. He never talks to people and to get an understanding. He talks to have a reply and to make himself look good. Like, he talked to you like he's in court. Basically, we know he's a lawyer, and I feel like that's how he talks to everybody. He comes off as him trying to prove a point, or him trying to get a point across, or him trying to sway one's opinions or feelings of how they feel. Because when he was talking to Jalen, to me, it just seems very inauthentic. And I always said, Marques, he one of those people where he's all about how stuff is perceived and how he looks to other people. And so when and of course, we know Jalen said he feel like it's a dictatorship with Marques. And I can see that, because Marques is one of them people where he never thinks he's wrong. He always has to prove his point. And it's just like, okay, like, at the end of the day, you're not proving your point. You're proving to the viewers, to me anyway, that everything that Jalen is saying. And I could see why, because even when Jalen was saying how he was asking him, did he feel loved? That him feeling loved and you actually being a father to him are two different things. Like, I could know you love me because we're in the same house. I know you would do something for me if I need it. Like, I can know that you have love for me, but being a father is way more than having love. It's spending time. It's teaching me things. It's, genuinely into me and want to know my interests and what I got going and want to get to know me, right? And it's apparent that Jalen didn't get that from Marques. He got it from he didn't get it from Marques. He got it from Marcel. And it's just like, Marques is always trying to prove a point. And at this point, I'm like, it ain't no point to prove. Like, he said that you literally will bypass your son, your young Monster, to tell him to do stuff when Monster was sitting there too. Instead of telling both of them to do it, or, getting out a chart or something and saying, hey, this your day for this your day for that. You just go straight to Jalen because you felt like he was older. And he's like, well, in my family, it was about who was older. And it's like, dude, you not hearing anything he's saying for real. And That's one of the things that I don't like about Marcel, because that's how he does. If y'all know this, and if you've been watching this show, he does that with everybody to try to prove his point. And I got you, mommy. Like even with the DUI, about when he asked Monster how did he feel, I mean, about his friends was making fun of him. And then when he said when it got dismissed, that, oh, you don't hear them talking about that. Like, let's be clear, Maurice. It may have got dismissed, but you still fucking guilty because you still was driving under the influence, whether it was dismissed or not. And it should have never been out there, especially you being a lawyer. Like, but that's how he deflects. Destiny is back. We know she got men problems. Like, what is new? We learned that Destiny does have her real estate license, and she said she had, I think she said for 19 years. It was a long time. I can't remember the exact number, but I'm like, Destiny, you've been having your license this whole time, and you've been on here doing all this other stuff. Okay, whatever. Like, we know Destiny is back, and her storyline this season is Lance, Miss Nail's son. Me personally, I feel like Destiny and Lance was just a storyline. I felt like that's just what it really was. Destiny may have really liked him for real. I never really got that he was really into Destiny. Even when Tisha tried to ask Miss Nail about Destiny and Lance, with Lance having this baby, I feel like Nail showed last season that she didn't like Destiny. She said, like, for me, I never got that Miss Nail wanted Destiny to be her daughter-in-law, and that she really liked her and she could see them together. I never got that from Miss Nail. Like, even, it was just, she really didn't, I feel like Miss Nail really didn't want them to date for real, but her son want to be on the show. He on the show. Let it be. So they are mad because they feel like Destiny should have been notified by Miss Neal that Lance had a baby. But in the first episode, I believe, Destiny said that she hadn't spoke to Lance since LA. LA was when they filmed the reunion, right? So if y'all haven't spoke since LA, what y'all dating for real? I'm saying, if y'all haven't spoke since LA, did he really need to tell you that he had a baby? I don't know. My thing with this is, I'm not saying Lance couldn't have told her. Like, I agree, if they were really dating, then he should have told her. He should have disclosed that. I mean, he should have let her know that information. They mad. They trying to say Nail should have told Destiny, and this is the thing, y'all. Ladies, period. And I'm pretty sure if you a little older, and I hope, like, if you're in your 30s like me, I hope that you will not be looking for a man's mama to tell you stuff that her son is doing. His mama, his sister, especially if y'all ain't even in a relationship for real. Like, if y'all in a relationship, that's one thing, and still it's real iffy there. But if y'all ain't in no relationship, y'all just dating, kicking it, whatever it is y'all doing, baby, don't be expecting his mama to call you and say, well, baby, you know my son got a baby on the way. I'm just forewarning you. Because it's not going to happen. At the end of the day, her loyalty is to her son. And y'all might not agree with it, but at the end of the day, it's not Nail's place for real to tell Destiny that he has a baby on the way. Now, do I feel like Miss Nail knew that Lance had a baby on the way before this girl gave birth, especially if it was somebody he had been dealing with for 5 years? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, she's trying to save face. I mean, I don't see what's the reason to lie about it, because hell, he grown as hell, he had a baby, y'all were not together, y'all were not exclusive. Not saying your feelings aren't valid, but at this point, it is what it is. Can we move along? At this point, Destiny is, every dude that Destiny talks to is some type of problem. So at this point, Destiny girl, if this is not for a storyline, you need to do some real looking at yourself, because baby, it can't always be somebody else. I'm just sorry, it can't always be somebody else. Marques and Tisha. We know Marques and Tisha. We know Tisha, her elevator don't go all the way up, but I would actually say Tisha looks good. Like, she really looks good this season. This last episode, when she had the big hair and stuff, when they were at the table, I was like, okay, Tisha, girl, I see you. She looked good. I'm still annoyed that they are still building Scott Manor, because haven't they been building Scott? Like, it's been a few years since they've been building Scott Manor. Like, I'm like, Kimmy said Marceau takes his time. She don't like doing stuff with Marceau because he be taking his time, and I'm like, Scott Manor should be up by now, or at least halfway up. Like, I don't like to judge nobody, and they, because anything could be possible. It could have been money situation. Their money could have been funny. It could have been anything, but it's like, but we still talking about Scott Manor in 2025. They literally introduced us to Scott Manor. I know for a fact it's been longer than 2 years. Like, I know, I can't say exactly how many years, but it's been a minute. Like, it's been a minute, to the point where even if he's like, we're building like a mansion, and it should have been built by now, or at least halfway up. But hey, that's neither there. Like, like I said, I'm struggling to kind of keep going, because it's kind of like the same rhetoric. Like, Scott Manor, baby, okay. I don't think Tisha would ever be transparent about what her and Marceau got going on. I believe Tisha knows everything Marceau does, and she's gonna always act like she doesn't know what it is that he do. I believe Marceau is half cheated. Basically, when him and Marques was getting into it, he kind of basically told Marceau that all he do is lie. Marceau talking about, I like that all the time. Oh, but at the end of the day, it's just like the same rhetoric. Like, they are mad at Chris Fletcher for what he said about the NDAs. I believe that they probably do have people sign NDAs. We're talking about Marques here, who think he's smarter than everybody and think he's above and he know more, and plus with him being a lawyer, I 100% believe that they didn't have people sign NDAs. We know Martell is crazy, and Martell is, they didn't talked about Martell so bad and then I don't want to say, don't get me wrong, Martell definitely put himself in these situations, and I definitely can't stand Martell because he gets on my damn nerves. But he out for blood now. Like, he, at this point, he ain't got shit to lose. Like, we know Martell is on this show faking. Like, I know everybody is like, is Ariane gonna be on here? Is Ariane gonna be on here? If Ariane is on here, like, I think that's fucked up if they do bring her on the show. But the way they need the views and the way this show is really, like, it's okay. It's not like, it's not good how it used to be, and it's just okay. It's like, it's really kind of boring. So I can see them bringing Ariane on, especially since the fact that they have introduced her, showed her picture. Basically, Martell is talking about how he regrets calling her a peasant, and he only did that because he was in a relationship. But then says, she could get a ring if she play her cards right, and all this other shit. Like, we know Martell is so full of shit. At this point, I feel like he doesn't have a storyline. He's into it with the Scotts. Mel has left, and so his only other storyline that would be interesting is Ariane. And Ariane, she want to be with him so bad that she gonna go wherever he go. She gonna hang on. She gonna be the last woman standing and think she won the prize. I feel like me personally, I don't feel like Martell, he don't want to be with Ariane. A lot of y'all is like, oh, he wanted to be with Ariane. He don't want to be with Ariane. Ariane is just another thing for him to stay relevant. And that's just how I feel. Even when he was talking to Destiny and he was like, oh, I'm still trying to get over my marriage. Sir, you are the reason your marriage is not a marriage anymore. You are the reason. You are the reason you got left by your ex-wife. You are the reason. You had a baby and did all this other shit and was cheating with multiple women and doing this and doing that. But you still talking about you stuck from your marriage. Sir, quit playing in all our face. Like, y'all can buy that shit if y'all want to and think that him and Ariane fits the do all the things. I don't believe it. I would be very surprised if he do. And if he do, it ain't, you know what? I won't be surprised because like I said, he's one of them people, he gonna do anything to stay relevant. And she ain't getting the prize, baby. That's I don't even have nothing else to say about that situation. What else can we talk? Oh, Trish and Ken. I'm sick of Trish, Ken, and Marques. But I will say that Trish is the problem in all the shit with Ken and Marques. If y'all can't see it, I don't know what to tell y'all. Trish love that shit. She love when they are going back and forth over her. That smirk on her face every time, baby. Every time they get into it, Trish is turned on. Her friend, Trish friend, pissed me off. Marques was not wrong. Now, I'm not saying he not wrong for walking into their house the second time. Just walking into their house. But that could be production doing. And then not only that, he said the first time he was helping her daughter. She had a lot of stuff. And production seen him, they mic'd him up, and we know how this go. And so he went in. Cool, it is disrespectful. Trish, okay, get that understood. But girl, Trish friend, she should have mind her business. Like, I can't stand nobody that's knee deep in somebody else's business. I feel like she just want her little 15 minutes of fame. And at this point, 15 seconds of fame. Because what is your purpose? Like, you got all this smoke for a man that you don't know. You only know Trish's side of the situation. It's stuff like this that me personally, I don't get into people's that type of drama. Like, I sit back and I try to diffuse the situation. Even if you are on Trish's side because you are Trish's friend, cool. But your unwarranted opinions and trying to attack him and tell him what it is and what it ain't, like, so much. Like Marques told her, I agree with him. You've been knowing Trish for 4 years. I've been knowing her for damn near her whole life. Like, so how you gonna tell me? You feel me? I feel like Ken has a need to want to fix things, like Will said, his friend Will. I thought the scene between Will, Ken, and Chris Fletcher was actually a pretty good scene. I like when men hold other men accountable. I do like that Will was holding Ken accountable, and kind of Chris was too. Like, at the end of the day, Trish, I feel like she sees Ken, he taking care of the family, he doing what he gotta do. And hell, you got 2 kids, you need the help. A lot of women will want a Ken. Put it like that. A lot of women want a Ken. If you can go find you a Ken, some women would do, they'll take a Ken, right? But Ken always give little energy for me. Like, he big and that's it. Like, he got the muscles, but that's it. Because it's like he don't have a backbone. And I get that you don't, let me say this. He's with Trisha, right? And he's supposed to have her back and take up for her and be there with her. I agree with that 100%. But at some point, you got to step back and not try to bump your chest to the point where you don't hear and realize what's going on. Because first of all, why they been getting a divorce for 6, 7, 8 years, however long it's been? Too damn long. That's number one. Number two, Trish don't want to get married right away. So that's why she's still okay with being married to Marques. Which I feel like, me personally, if Marques really confessed to Trish that he really wants to be with her and he got his shit together, Trish would go back and be with Marques. I I really honestly do feel that way. I think the problem is Ken want to be Trisha's savior. And it's nothing wrong with him taking care of the kids and, you know, doing what he needs to do. If he's going to be with her, he's staying with her as a man. That's your role, right? But I think the issue comes when Ken in his head keeps saying, when he kept saying, when he not around, we don't have no issues. When he not around, we don't have no issues. He the problem. It's like, Ken, do you hear what the fuck is coming out of your mouth? You're saying when he's around, y'all don't have any issues. This man, Marques, isn't going anywhere, baby. Like, that's their father. And yeah, Xavier, the son, is what, 19. He's grown, he's older, but the daughter, she's still pretty young. So it's like, it's not a situation where it's like they're grown and you won't have to deal with him at all. Even though when they get grown, if they have, you know, different events and stuff, you're still gonna be around them, around each other. So my thing with this is Marques is not going anywhere. And Ken, I think if you can't get that through your head, that you keep saying that when he's not around, well, baby, he's gonna be around. Whether he's a good father or not, whether you like it or not, at the end of the day, that's their father. You cannot erase their father. As much as you feel like y'all are good when he's not around, he is their father. And at the end of the day, they want to have a relationship with their father, as they should. But I think Trish is the problem, because a lot of stuff Trish could nip in the bud. Like, even with the whole thing about Marques contesting a divorce. Marques said that she told the judge that they didn't have minor children. Well, that's what the paperwork said. And here go, Ken, the paperwork, but he was talking about the original paperwork, right? And it's like, Trish know what the hell she doing. Like, Trish is nobody's victim. Trish, she knows exactly what she's doing. She don't want Marques and Ken to be cool for real, because then that blows up what she's got going. So the problem is gonna always look like Marques is the problem. And I'm not saying he's not a problem and he can't be problematic. I feel like they all are problematic. But I feel like at some point, Ken, you need to sit back and watch the situation. Instead of getting into it with Marques, getting into and stuff about the divorce and this and that, hold your lady accountable. See what she do. Sit back. Y'all been together for years at this point, and she ain't really made no effort to get a divorce. That should tell you all you need to know. And his friend Will basically told him that. Like, I would have been done with the situation. And it's like, I don't see how people can't see that Trish is the issue. A lot of people keep saying, oh, Ken ain't the problem. He's supposed to, be 10 toes down for his girl. And while I do agree, if you're coming into the situation, you're supposed to be down for your woman. If that's what you want. If that's, that's your love, that's what y'all doing. But at the same damn time, you can't be no damn fool and not see the red flags and see like what's going on. And my thing is, if Ken would just take a step back, let Trish handle the shit, he'll see everything he needs to know. The problem is he want to flex so hard on Marques and show, oh, I'm taking care of your kids, because everything is financial with him, with Ken. And it's like, I'm taking care of your kids, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, blah, 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 blah. We don't have no issue when he's around. Well, he ain't going nowhere. So y'all gonna have to figure that shit out. And at the end of the day, if Trish is not gonna have boundaries and put stuff in place and try to co-parent with him, go do what she needs to do and all this and that, it's gonna always be an issue. And why it's gonna be an issue? Because Trish don't want to get divorced. Because if Trish get divorced, she know that you are gonna be down her neck about getting married, and she don't really want to be married. And actually, honestly, I can't blame Trish for not wanting to get out of a marriage and hop back into a marriage. But the thing is, she's been leading Ken on, and she has Ken thinking that she does want the marriage, when I feel like she really don't. She just want him there because he's a provider. He's a good man in that way, in that aspect. And she needs that at this moment. And so, yeah, I just feel like Ken like to talk a lot, but he don't really listen. Whatever Trish over there putting on Ken, baby. Baby, she got his head going. Hey, if he want to be a damn fool about this girl, baby, let him. Tisha, like I said before, she's still doing a whole lot of deflecting. We know Tisha gonna ask a million questions about everybody else's business, but when you ask her about hers, she gonna find a reason to talk around the question. Kimmy does the same thing. It's the Scotts. I think they be trying to get in front of stuff. So I am eager. I want to see where this is gonna go. Like if we're gonna get to know a little bit more about them for real. I'd like to see how it's gonna go with Jalen. I'm ready for the next to see the rest of the conversation, because I do, like I said, I do feel like Marques is full of shit. I do feel like he talks down to people. I do feel like he want to dictate everything, and he think that everything he says should go, and that's the way that it should be done. And Jalen is like, he ready to get the fuck away from him, which I don't blame him, because it's very clear that Kimmy is going to follow Marques right off the goddamn cliff no matter what. And she not going to really have Jalen back too much, because we've seen how she's basically let Marques do her. Even when, like I said, when he bought Monster to stay there and she had to sit down and talk to Kyle, when he kind of left her hanging. And it's like, this is your motherfucker, this is your child. Like, even though we're together and we're blending a family, at the end of the day, this is still your child. It's just a whole bunch. So I want to see where this go. I'm not fit to say that like I'm like really hyped for this season. Like I said, it's kind of boring sometimes. I'll watch it the next morning, I'm not gonna lie, because some Saturday nights I'll be out doing my thing, and I was like, I'll watch that later on. It's not a show that I'll be like, let me see. But so far, like I said, this episode was cool. They did have a new show, I think it's called Hard and Hustle Houston, which I'm gonna watch that, and if I like it, then I'm going to review it, because they some Texas girlies. I'm a Texas girlie, so I want to see what the girlies are talking about. I want to see if it's good. I started it, but I had a lot going on that day, so I never got to finish it for real. Like, I didn't get into it. So I'm gonna rewatch it tonight, and if I like it, we gonna be back on here to talk about it, because it's something new. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on Love and Marriage Huntsville. The next time it'll be a full recap if that's what y'all want, or if y'all just want to talk about it, just let me know. We can do that too. Like I said, it's not just giving, but we gonna try to see it through. So yeah, don't y'all forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye y'all. I see y'all later.